NRG versus Bravado. Map 2 is going to be Train. We already saw NRG move up 1-0 in this series. And now the question becomes, can the plucky South African team pull their way back into this matchup? Or is everything going to come up NRG?
It's looking good right now for NRG, we will say that. I mean, the scoreline of the first map was pretty convincing. They seemed to have control of a lot of the situations. I think one thing that did surprise them a lot was Bravado's very aggressive style on that CT side. We saw a lot of smoke pushes, a lot of, gunfights being taken. But now moving over to Train, Bravado definitely going to be more comfortable, right? We're moving to their map pick and their chance to show us what they're worth. And something else as well, their T side. We didn't really get to see a whole lot of it in Inferno, obviously due to them losing out very dominantly on that first half. So now we're going to get to at least have an example of what their T side is like up against NRG, which, again, still not an easy game, but I want to see what Bravado can show us here.
Oh, most definitely. I think as well, if you're heading into this match, you've picked a map that it isn't one that NRG are bad on, right? You can't look at this as being like a free win. So I think if you're Bravado, you've got to have a couple of tricks up your sleeve, right? You had to have headed into this game prepared. I have no doubt that if you were going to study any team here, the Americas Minor, you would have picked NRG. I think they're the heavy favourites to make it out in first place, and hardly anyone can really disagree with that fact. At least if you look at it on paper, but some things don't work out that way. This is the fast B play from Bravado in this round. Cirque able to get one and actually re-aggressing. They catch elusive Ethan and Daps. Tap down two. Cirque's in with another. Blink of an eye. It's only JT left standing. Does have the PT-50. Molly's gone down on the bomb, but that's extinguished by Daps. Cirque on the ladder. So many eyes looking his way. And that will be NRG successfully launching that retake there, keeping 3 players up and finding the pistol around here on Train.
Yeah, just some nice shots hit with the USPs there. Bravado bombed down, so they will be able to buy up in that third round. Although, already AK is being shuffled over with a bit more money to play with. Why not get a couple of guns, get some armor behind it, see what you can do with this. No armor on the solo AK though. I feel like if you're gonna get an AK, you may as well get body armor. And
I think JT's now agreeing with you. Yeah. He's like, oh,
whoops!
I had one job, had to go back, had to go rebuy it. Not the end of the world.
No, don't get that fast spawn pick at least. That's the issue with it though. So NRG do manage to gain some control of Ivy. Pressure put on by Breezy, but he backs off very early on.
Yeah, he was definitely looking a bit deterred, was Breezy. Instead, going to hold off for the time being. You can see this AK turning its attention now toward Ivy. Breezy on the angle. Now, JT does have armor, so that USP that Breezy was banking on not going to be as reliable as perhaps he would have liked for the not majority of these players, but for the minority of these players. Daps with the organ hand should be here to mop things up with. I'm going to try and use some of these pistol players maybe to try and discover the location, the whereabouts of this NRG defense. Other way of looking at it is have JT peek first, but they decide to go for the old bait and switch, and it does not work. Everybody falls over on the side of Bravado. Very, very quick, clean round for NRG. 5 players staying up over on the side of Bravado. They can get the buy in this round.
That was really well read from Daps there on that fight, right? He knows they have an AK at least because it was spotted down Ivy, but the rest of the players should be on pistols. So when one player jumps for the cross, Daps fires a bullet at him, but then instantly traces back to the instant repeat that's coming through from JT, knowing that that's a bait and switch setup for an AK. So Daps takes down the armored player immediately, and then the rest follow. So good decision making there. Great shot to start off this round for Detroni.
That man advantage gained as he bests the Bulgarian. Now looking to try and allow Detroni to find that much more. JT dispatching of Ethan up close over at Pop, and you can see NRG, they've rotated their remaining forces into this A bomb site, just going to be stacking all 3 up at this portion of the map. Bravado still looking dedicated out towards A, and Detroni in with another. Suddenly, it's only Breezy and Fugly remaining. They know the whereabouts of one, and Sonic's there to finish him off. So Bravado able to grace the scoreboard straight away here with a round on their T side, and a convincing one at that.
Yeah, 3 players kept alive, the AWP going forward. And if Detroni can continue to find picks like that, opening kills in the yard, then we're off to a good start for Bravado. The issue is here, now NRG are calling a pause. If they hard eco this round, they have a full buy in the follow-up, but here, if they were to buy, it would certainly have its holes in the armor. So yeah, half buy. Bit of an investment, wait for that loss bonus to kick in. Probably the best situation they can come out with this round, but we should expect Bravado to equal out the score, find this 2-2 on the T side. Cirque's even waiting for his AWP, so it's nice to see he wants to bring it in as well. We've already mentioned that, you know, over the games today, he's not been as eager as he typically is, but that's fine. Like, he can rifle perfectly well, but over on Nuke CT side, he was organ left, right, center.
Well, one thing that I think is, or could bode well for Bravado here, is if you recall, you think back to the DreamHack Invitational out in Mumbai when they ran the event there. Obviously, that was the event that Bravado were able to pick up and win. Train was one of the maps that transpired in that grand final, if you recall. It was a pretty dominant victory for the Bravado guys, and that was on the back of strong performances from JT and Sonic. They both feel very at home on this map. JT's already gotten off to a good start here for Bravado. He's looking to try and continue it, but Fugly has shut him down with the CZ. Circuit on this rotation, and uh-oh, Fugly, how's he managed that? 3 kills come through. And he might have made this round possible. Cirque just baited them, knows that they're going to be battening down the hatches on this position. He's trying to bait the shots out, and Cirque not falling for it, not falling for their tricks, doesn't offer himself up for the trade. So now a 2-on-2, and the possibility that NRG find a round from nowhere. Sonic spots out Breezy on this wrap round. That bomb's still yet to go down. This is giving NRG so much time to set up. No.
Dirty.
Surely not, Cirque. That's not allowed. You can't do that to them. Elusive, 1v2 needed. He's got to try and salvage it, but no, Fugly and Cirque. What a spectacle. A 3-1 lead in NRG. I don't know what we just saw.
Bravado definitely did not need to do that. They definitely didn't need to run through that smoke. When it's your map pick, you're up against pistols, you're the underdog, you've got plenty of strats, you've got plenty of time, you've got plenty of nades. You don't need to run through a smoke with 3 players up against a close pistol that you know is there. That's, yeah, that's a questionable one.
I'm at a loss for words. There was so much impressive stuff that round. Fugly, by the way, you know, not often the man that's talked about on NRG, but he's kind of the player that a lot of people sleep on, right? He's not known for having the most flashiest of kills, but he's someone you can very much depend on. That round, I mean, that was flashy, right? It was one clip of the CZ to get 3 massive kills, turns that round on its head, and then Cirque, with that one PT50 shot, just whoosh.
Pistol whip.
Yeah, pistol whip him. Oh, well, Bravado, that's certainly not how they wanted their anti-eco to go. They're in with the force now, I guess you'd say. 3 AKs in play, but no utility means they are just relying on aim alone, and that is certainly not the scenario you want to find yourself in. Especially not with Ethan continuing. He's able to open things up in this round. The Trony bested early on, and that well repelled them from main for the time being.
Ooh, Breezy forced back off the angle. I'll have to give them Ivy, but Daps is here behind the green train to at least run that crossfire, wait for them to come out, and then Breezy can wide peek. Oh, Daps, he's seen him, and he's got him as well. Vady's dead, Breezy peeks in, but there's no need. This last man is not fought until now, and there it is. Nice clean round from NRG. They get no casualties, and that's the issue. When you're in a round like that for Bravado's sake, and you don't have utility, and you're running off of rifles with pistols, and you have to take aim battles, that's when NRG get a flawless round, because these guys are looking so crisp. Bravado on the other side of things, 2K per player. They've got to go for a full eco. They've got to wait for that next round buy. And AWP on Cirque as well is definitely going to be a terrifying weapon to face, considering they won't have the money for the AWP on the Bravado side of things in the follow-up. unless they get this bomb plant, which is very doable. But Fugly's waiting with a Molotov. He'll spot plenty of players, and Cirque's starting to line them up as well. 2 kills from Cirque. Fugly will die after 1, but that bomb plant is so important here for Bravado.
Oh, down goes Fady. Any hope of upsetting and finding a victory in this round is very much out the window. This wraparound could potentially net them the AWP on a Cirque. You can see he's read it well and will go ahead and delete the Droney. NRG up 5-1. But as you pointed out, Hugo, the bomb plant there is very, very valuable here to this T side. They can field a very competent bio. Gonna have the AWP on the Droney. All the bells and whistles on everybody else. Now, he doesn't have armor. That is something to pay attention to. That means aim punch is going to be a real problem here for the AWPer over on the side of Bravado. So relying on hitting these shots the first time around, really can't afford to take these aim duels versus players.
Already, look at this Ivy push as well from Breezy. He's gone all the way down, and Detroni's bypassed him. He had no idea. Fady bails him out. And somehow Bravado get the best of him down in Ivy. That is incredible. They're still going to keep going, though. That smoke finally will ward them off. Sonic, in the meantime, has relieved some pressure by picking off Ethan close towards T-Con. So Cirque, this is his time. He's committed to the A site, deep within it. Teammate already rotating through the CT spawn, rather, and Cirque going to smoke off main so we can have free room on top of this train to fight Ivy. Only going in down Ivy, but Cirque isn't warded off. He knows these 2 players are still here, or at least one of them, but that's flash on the right side will make it very obvious. Bravado trying to peek at Cirque. Oh, nice flick. Can he get any more done? It's a no. Fady eventually drops him, leaving Fugly alone on the site on 10 HP. Not for long. Daps is dropped as well. It's 2 kills for Elusive and a second round for Bravado.
Now we can see that double AWP setup moved into, though, from the side of NRG. Money's not really a problem for them, or at least it wasn't heading into this round. Shouldn't be too much of an issue looking at the future either. Bravado, this time around, turning their attention towards this B portion of the map early on. Going to try and take control of Pop Dog. They're already down, but Ethan will come up short in that fight. Missed shot from Cirque, and NRG fluffing a couple of chances to find the opener there. Have given up a double man advantage the way of Bravado. Now Breezy's gone aggressive in through Ivy. He's at least got this portion of the map locked down, but will that even bother playing into this round? Bravado, all it takes is for them to hit this B-bomb site and it is all over. They've applied the brakes to the Bravado train, sitting comfortably 2 players up. They know that they can afford to make NRG sweat, try and give them some time to get in their own heads. And,
that's awkward. Fugly goes down on B, and Bravado 5-on-2. They have control of one of the bomb sites, so that bomb will come rotating in through the ramp. The smoke down to cover the cross, and even the plant in as well. Bravado going to be able to pick up around here unless Daps can stop it, but he's too far away. He's been finished off, and NRG, they've just been slammed. That was a very weird round of NRG not looking ready.
No, that isn't a round you're really used to seeing transpire from NRG either. I mean, every person across the map just taking one-on-ones and missing their individual duels. I mean, a great example there would be Ethan taking up position over in Pop Dog. You'll note Bravado, they didn't throw anything in. There was one flash that didn't even blind him, and other than that, they didn't bother assembling that 2-man boost that we often see teams use to take control of Pop Dog. There was no Molotovs, no nades. It was just dry peeking across the map, and Bravado winning their duels. This is just a partial investment from NRG, and it is going to get ran over.
They've been setting a furious pace on this T side. Bravado have not been fearful for just rushing round after round. Breezy with a couple of nice kills on the exit, but it's still going to be Bravado getting up to 4 here. NRG still with money, though, and that AWP, again, could even be doubled. The Daps would rather go for an AUG. Okay, this is where NRG need to shut things down if they want to finish this one in a 2-0. They don't want to let Bravado get the lead on the T side this early on. Let's see what response NRG have to this rampant Bravado pace, these early picks that have been consistently coming through. Detroni going for that AWP shot, but he will finally fall. It's Cirque taking the man advantage, and from here, this is where Bravado really will be tested.
Yeah, they won't be gifted any freebies this time around. In fact, it's quite the opposite. Elusive will be able to go toe-to-toe with Ethan down in the pop dog once more. Really is starting to feel like a bit of a weak point for NRG over at this portion of the map.
It does feel like NRG are getting overconfident to a certain extent in terms of just taking a lot of gunfights that they don't usually take, or didn't even take on the previous map. They had a very reserved CS. Even stuff like this, but it works. They trade out up on the top of Ivy, and Elusive will find his second kill. He really has been the savior for Bravado in this round, keeping them in a 2-on-3. Bomb picked up, and AWB traded over. We have, well, only one of them now as Elusive drops his. Distance being closed, and Daps round the smoke. JT's got to watch out.
NRG already with 3 people here. JT able to trade. Breezy is quick on the trigger. That will be NRG securing themselves a 6. They're able to hold one of those AWPs forward, and you imagine that's going to get dropped over to Cirque, who has been looking good thus far in this matchup. Didn't get to see him don the AWP thus far, or all too much thus far, rather, on Inferno, nor on Nuke earlier today, but here on Train it seems to be a different story. As he has been keen on having it. Now, Detroni's got the AWP back out over on the T side. I'm curious where he's going to go peeking with that early. It looks like it's just the fast A play. The wall of smokes rain on in. And on the other side, Ethan, Molotov's off his pop dog at the very least, so he does have a little bit more breathing room. Tries to get flashed through and has successfully picked up Fady, now playing close to the smoke. Oh. Trony's gonna get spotted and dispatched off. Breezy's in with another. Bravado getting picked apart one by one, and Sonic desperately trying to claw them back into it, but Elusive, I think he's been tagged underneath the train there, so certainly not his lucky day. They use him to peek first, try and trade with Sonic, and it doesn't pan out. Fugly in with the double, and NRG 7-4 with the reset onto Bravado.
They've still got 4K on 3 players, so they can still somewhat buy up, but it's going to be limited in a couple. Definitely a round you should buy, don't get me wrong. And this is still an okay T-side start from Bravado. If they can turn this into 5 or 6, this is not going to be a problem. However, NRG is still starting to definitely look like they're warming up into this first half. It was a bit of a slower start for them in this map. But 7-4 still looking damn good. Fugly alone on this B site. It's nice to see NRG not contesting Pop Dog as much, and as I say that, Ethan moves in close. This could be to his own demise. There's 2 players here for Bravado, and oh dear. Oh, he almost catches the timing just a second too late. 1-for-1 is still good though.
Ooh, Breezy. His aggression does pay off. So now for Bravado, it's back to the drawing board. It looks like it's going to be back towards this B bomb site. They haven't been having the most success at this portion of the map. Fugly has been a real driving force when it comes to locking it down at B. This time playing much more passive. Daps on this wrap is going to get spotted, but he's able to best the Trony. Breezy's in with another, and Elusive left in a 1v4. Well, he does get the bomb plant. Breezy gets the better of him, so an 8-4 lead to NRG. For those of you who are just tuning in, this is the upper bracket match to decide who secures that playoffs spot for Group A. Currently, NRG sitting 1-0 up after they confidently closed out their map pick of Inferno just around about half an hour ago.
Of course, the loser's still not removed from this this group, though. They get to face the winner of INTZ versus Imperial. Of course, being a loser's match, an elimination match coming up tomorrow. But 8-4 here for NRG, already off to a stunning CT start. A-Stream update for you guys as well. United fell to Furia earlier on, 16-11 for the Brazilians. So we're seeing some Brazilians find success here in day number 1. Oh, nice nades up B, or up Ivy rather. We do have MV 6-0 up against Furia as well over in that best of 3 for the winners match on their stream. So Envy continuing their dominance, it seems, Harry. We'll keep you guys updated with that, but for now, Bravado look to rotate round. They have players up in the B halls. Ethan's one is duel down Ivy, and there's a second man here. He can't afford to die, but JT wanted to escape to regroup with his team. Unfortunately, it will end in his demise. Bravado going down into Pop Dog. Ethan's not here this time.
Yeah, Ethan constantly losing those fights down in Pop. I think he's finally realized, he's just going to give this portion of the map up and instead try and add some value elsewhere. Fugly looking like timing almost got the better of him, but he does flick back and check Sonic. Now down the ramp, going to be Detroni offering himself up next. Molotov falls from Cirque. The trap round from Breezy should seal Bravado's fate in this round. He's the fail-safe, the linchpin, the man. If all else fails, you've got him there. But Ethan, holding his ground, takes back control of Pop Dog. He wasn't able to hold it from the inside, but from the outside looking in, he did fantastically. 9-4, but a bite back on the cards for Bravado in this round, and a chance at salvaging a respectable half, all things considered.
Yeah, that's why they're calling in their first tactical pause as well. This is the round. This is the most important one so far of the half for them. Try and assert your dominance and get this 9-6 half. If you lose this, you're going to be struggling to even buy up in the final round. So it's all or nothing right now for Bravado. AWP is thrown over to Detroni. Well, he's only 3-10. He's had a couple of key opening picks. 2 of his 3 kills, being opening frags to actually secure Bravado a round earlier on. And we're going to need him to do that more than ever, with Cirque starting to reign dominant over these South African players. He's 12-5. Let's see what Detroni's got.
Ooh. Mollied out. Not quite able to find anything on that initial peak, and yeah, you have been right in pointing out Detroni. Might not be top fragging in the server, but the kills he's had have been very impactful for Bravado. One issue they're going to face is Ethan finding his confidence, finding his footing a bit on this map now, in spite of a slow start. Cirque just not afraid to try and tangle with the beast over in main, and Detroni does fall off the angle. Ooh, flash goes over, and Sonic almost able to find something there. Cirque gets spotted, holds position, flash rains in, and the timing on that is perfect. Ethan helping out Cirque that much more as he blinds Detroni on that initial peak. Cirque not looking done with one, wants to try and challenge for a little bit more, but Sonic will punish him, perhaps gets a little bit too big for his boots. Breezy just misses the timing out from Ivy, and that's Ethan fed to the wolves. Fady now on the opener is pincered in somewhat. He's going to turn back round. Breezy finally able to mop up the man that he let slip by, and now it falls all onto him in a 1v3, turned 1v2. Oh, and elusive. Oh, he spots him. Doesn't want to go back and take that fight anytime soon. JT's wrapping through the B-bomb site. A very big gamble indeed. Will it pay off for them?
It might just do. Elusive's fallen back so far that Breezy hasn't got this kill and therefore will not be able to jump on the bomb. The timing is there for JT, and he should have the lineup, but he spotted Breezy escaping through the connector. Didn't have the confirmed kill, but now he does. JT, 3 kills in that round. Huge performance from him. Very unfortunate for NRG that they let that one man slip in through Ivy. Without that, I think NRG might be able to close out the round, but that Ivy push was so well timed. 5 rounds of Bravado. As we said, they needed that buy because otherwise their money would be in shambles. And now we go into the last round of the half on level pegging, both teams having money. AWP twofold for NRG. They've got both. Detroni not having one of his own, but it's not the end of the world here. Could see even in that round, Detroni trying to mind game Cirque by jumping up on that platter, but over in T-Con, Cirque was so ready for it, pre-aimed it before Detroni was even in position.
Still, I mean, regardless, right, you take a look at the Bravado side here and you think about their performance back on Inferno, right? It was a much slower start. They managed to get, what, 3 rounds in that first half? So already fielding a good scoreline for Train, a very competitive one over on the T side, and a chance to go 6-9 on their map pick. I still feel confident that we could see a third map crop up here.
Very much possible, and this could be the swing round to put Bravado in that position. Of course, the pistol is going to be extremely important post this, but we know how inconsistent teams are at winning pistols, how random it can be. So anything's possible there.
I mean, also you think about for NRG, Fugly, right, was someone you think back to Inferno, had a very, very strong game there. You think about Nuke earlier on in the day, same story. He had that round on this map where he gets the triple kill. But other than that, he's only managed 5 kills in this entire first half. So, you know, aside from the 3 that he got in one round, has been a bit of a slowdown from him. That B bomb site, while he salvaged it a few times, it's also looked a little vulnerable. And we've just heard that he's got a technical problem right now with his mouse. Maybe that's the issue. Maybe that's why he's sitting down on the board. Who knows? So we're just working on fixing that, and then we'll be back in to the last round of this first half. One thing I'm hoping is, you know, on the back of Ethan, I think, oh, sorry, it was Breezy letting Fady sneak down through Ivy in the round prior. I'm hoping that doesn't get at NRG's head at all, you know, doesn't cause any problems there. Small little lapses in communication like that sometimes can show cracks within a team.
Forgive and forget, though. That's the motto. It's not the end of the world. This is still a good scoreline. You still map up. Everyone makes mistakes, Harry.
That they do, Hugo. That they do. I was just having a little sip of my ESL's patented Magic Miller's Go Faster juice.
Bit of an update as well over on the other stream. We've got Envy sitting 7-2 up in that winners game right now. Nifty topping the charts 9-3. And Cutler sitting close behind as well. So that's actually kind of cool to see. Envy finding a lot of success against the Brazilians, and you know, like we saw them earlier, we saw them absolutely tear apart Team 1 16-3. So for them, you know, sitting 7-2 up, that's not really a surprise. Although a completely different team, I'm just joking, but that's still impressive.
Yeah, you know, I think for me, as we kind of touched upon, right, this Envy roster is a curious case. You know, I'm anticipating that we see them go pretty far at this event, though, for the reasons we kind of touched upon earlier. I think NRG, they've come into this, they're looking good. Bravado haven't been disappointing me either. The other talking point for me has been Furia. I kind of discounted them a little bit. I'm not entirely sure why, right? They're a team that have showed good results as of late. They are a pretty talked about team coming into this event. I'm excited to see what they can bring to the table. Now, I believe you just said they haven't gotten off to the best of starts versus Envy.
No.
You know, certainly not how you'd imagine. But whose map pick was that?
It's Inferno, so it is Furious map pick, and they're down 7-2. So yeah, that's
certainly not the start you want.
Envy are on CT side Inferno, so whatever. We'll give it some time. But again, like Envy, same case against Team One. Both rounds that Fury have had, actually that's changed, but you know, rifle rounds before that have been reset. So Envy, you know, that was something they did very well against Team One. The second we saw Team One win a round, Envy were instantly just cracking back on that and not letting the economy build, which can be so difficult to, you know, maintain on T-side Inferno. If you don't have the utility, you're going to struggle to win those rifle rounds. But yeah, convincing win so far. We'll keep you guys updated. And these are both the last best of threes of the night as well. We do have 8 best of threes tomorrow as we get into more B-stream action, both obviously this being in the Americas and the Asian minor. What's been your favorite minor so far, Harry?
Out of all of them?
Yeah.
For me, probably, obviously, I'd have to say the European minor. Yeah, I think it was like a super stack with lots of upsets. Mass Sports going home. There was a lot of great storylines. Valiant's looking great. You know, obviously, Ents going through after losing to North in that upper bracket match, semi-final rather, I think it was. might be wrong there, but
no, Ents went through top seed of the playoff. They won the minor, so they might have lost in their group. I think they came through the group in second.
No, they top group.
Ents didn't lose the series.
Yeah, no, they didn't. I was trying to. Who did I think about?
What? What was the game?
Of course, yeah, they beat North, and that sent North down into the matchup versus Vitality.
Which Vitality won. North are going to the third place decider playoff.
But I mean, I'm looking forward to that. You know, that's something that we always, you know, that we've both been really looking forward to. CIS Minor was one that was quite surprising for me as well. There was a lot of interesting stuff down. I really like this Windstrike team. I think they play some very good CS for a team that culminates, you know, like the old with the new, and I like that, right? You got World Edit in there. Like I was a big fan of him, right?
Big frag of Norbert.
Yeah, Norbert, who just looks incredible. I've been such a fan of that guy ever since we started casting him. I was like, well, this dude is just a little too good, you know, like yeah. We'll say that that's what I said, but the first time I saw him play.
Sure.
But yeah, I mean, I think all the minors thus far have been incredibly stacked. I can't think about one where we, or at least the minor circuit of prior, where we've had so many teams that could win.
I think it's not only that they're stacked and we've had upsets, but we've had like new teams and different teams that we wouldn't usually expect to see in the minor. Like obviously, you know, a lot of roster changes go through every single major circuit, and you know there's always new teams around. But like we had Valiance debuting on LAN here, that was a really cool one. Like a bunch of ragtag misfits able to get some big upset wins. We've obviously got Zywoo in his first minor circuit. Yeah, we've got loads of crazy storylines.
That was such a cool story for me, right? The fact that Zywoo, it's his first ever like minor circuit to be a part of with this team Vitality, and you know it would have still been impressive had they won and it had been, you know, he just done all right.
Yeah.
But it's the fact that they won. He was the only guy on that team to even finish positive at the end of the event.
He won.
And yeah, I mean, it was the victory for Vitality, but really it was like a personal victory for Zywoo, right? Because in every one of those games almost, he was there, top fragging in the server, having just these amazing performances. And one of the reasons why that feels even better is, you know, like there was a lot of talk around Zywoo as a player before he joined that team. Everyone was really kind of rallied behind him, but here the whole issue of, you know, wanting to finish, I think it was like school, wanted to focus on his education, didn't want to commit to anything until then.
I'm so glad he waited though.
Yeah, right.
We were all very upset when he waited because we were like, oh, we want him in the circuit now, we want him playing, but you know, he gave us some time. He really thunk about what team he wanted to join. And obviously, it was pretty cool as well because we came from like casting MDL, where we were casting him in AAA, where he was just like carrying that team so hard as well, and we've seen him like grow since then. So it's been really exciting.
Yeah, right. I mean, you recall he obviously played in the show match at the London major, and everyone was hyped around that. They're like, you know, what's it like to play in front of a major crowd? Well,
I don't know.
Well, but now we get to see him play in front of a major crowd for real after having earned the spot, right? So I can't think of anyone else.
Whoa! You're saying show matches don't count, Harry? You're discounting all of your performances.
Yeah, I mean, the one round I got to play back in Sydney.
Are you on HLTV for playing that one round or not?
No, of course not. I wouldn't want one. I wouldn't want my legacy to be like, oh yeah,
he bought dual Berettas and died.
Plus, I think that I'm pretty confident that just after going 0-1 and then never playing in a game ever again, that would make me physically the bottom-rated player on HLTV. So to come in beneath, you know, a few names on that list. I mean, almost anyone, but you know, you look at someone like Bot Bardolph, to come in down beneath him would definitely not feel great, especially after the amount of times I've carried him to a hard win in matchmaking.
You'd probably be above James Banks, considering I've seen his matchmaking performance. We played with him last week. You know,
yeah, that's true.
I'm not sure that he would be
the Jameses. The Jameses, as they're known.
Apart from Avant-Garde, you know, the Jame.
Oh,
take away the S, suddenly they're nuts, right?
You drop the S. Yeah. Maybe we'll just see Kenny from now on. It won't be Kenny S anymore. Just Kenny, or no more Nico M. Just Nico.
Almost like you get top 3 in the world or something.
Yeah, right? I mean, that was another cool story out of CIS, was the fact that you have Nico's cousin playing over there. Not CIS, rather, in EU. You have Nico's cousin playing over there in Team Valiance. Hunter, what a performance from him. He was such a talking point of that entire team.
I think Valiant's going to kick themselves for not going further in this event, and like that's fair enough. You know, I'm sure you had higher expectations of yourself, especially with some of the wins they got, like 2-0ing Mousesports, beating them in a 16-14 in their opening game. Like, you had some crazy wins, and it must hurt to not get any further. But like, if they were listening, I would just say, like, you should keep powering on. You know, you've got a sick team, you've got a great future.
Not to mention, I think you can say with almost confidence, they got one of the hardest paths through the minor of any team.
Undoubtedly.
You know, you had to play versus Mouse Sports.
Twice.
Yeah, right? It wasn't just once. They had to do it twice. You know, and then who did they play in the semis? It was North off the top of my head, I believe they lost to.
They lost to...
oh, no, it was Vitality. Yeah, yeah. And then they played them again. They got the rematch versus Vitality after losing to them the first time around, and they got bested once more. So, yeah, that was always a shame. You know, I think losing to Vitality with the form that we saw Zaiwu in at least wasn't the most disheartening thing.
Not like one you should really be too upset with. They did qualify, so you know that was something for Vitality, and actually coming through in second place as well. But we are getting back in. No more of our rambling. We do have train underway. The last round of the first half. Here as we see Fugly back with a mouse in his hand and an AWP as well. We've got 3 of them, Harry. Oh no, he's got Cirque's mouse now. That's what's happened. 3 AWPs for NRG in the last round of the half. Full AKs for Bravado. No counter to this. And Fugly playing close B as well. It really does feel like Cirque.
Well, let's see if the triple AWP setup prevails here for NRG. It is very rare that we see this ever. But they're looking to try and make it work. Actually, we've seen kind of these crazy AWP purchases a few times throughout the different minor circuits thus far. Obviously, out in EU, we saw Valiance pick up the quad AWP on Dust 2 versus Team Vitality. Certainly don't see that every day. So NRG, they've toned it down a notch in comparison to their European brethren. Looking like Ethan wants to try and challenge a Pop Dog. And oh, this time he's good for both. They might have been besting Ethan here time and time again, but he finally rises up, finally gets revenge, and what a moment to do it. Cirque, tiny little angle, but Fady goes walking right into his crosshair, read very well. That leaves Sonic and Detroni standing in a 2v5.
38 seconds. The flash is still raining in. Ethan winning his duel as well. 3rd kill of the round from Ethan. He's had an absolutely stellar half, as he always does. And Detroni, yeah, he's going to get 1 tapped as well. Ethan, 4 kills in that round, 17 in the half, and 10-5 is the score on the doors for NRG. Looking damn good, but it's still Bravado's map pick, and there's a chance for them to pull things over on the CT side. So let's see if they can do it after the break.
Intel Extreme Masters is brought to you in part by Intel, Vodafone, Acer Predator, Mountain Dew Amp Game Fuel, HyperX, Betway, and Pay Safeguard.
Second half about to be underway. NRG sitting 10-5 up at the half and 1-0 up in this series. So just 6 rounds away from a decisive 2-0 victory here. But Bravado not looking to let them get away with that. Now moving to the CT side on their map pick of Train. Let's see if they have what it takes to grind this one out and take us through to map number 3.
Double molly on NRG. This is great for the post plant. We do have a smoke on JT, so that needs to stay standing, as Fady is. 2 kills from him. He goes back in for a third, but eventually gets punished. And either way, this flank is opened up. Detroni coming in on the wraparound. Ethan's going to hit the shot. Great aim. But now he knows that they might be stacked up on B because of the flank from Detroni. So NRG might potentially double back from this one. You can see them checking their backline. Yeah, now the call's been made, the switch up has been employed. The issue is with this, is their setup and their nades were for the B play. So they go for a late round A execute. The Molotovs, they need to find a purpose for those instead of the post plant. Still possible. Not as easy a lineup as there is on B. Now they're going to creep in through T-Con, and there's no one here. We've got that push up in the B halls from Elusive, so both these players have rotated into A. Good call from Bravado, but will it be enough?
Well, JT going to get spotted, but it's Sonic to steal the spotlight, at least for the time being. No kills coming through for NRG. That's going to cause them some problems. They have to try and deal with this man on the bomb site. He's got their attention, and that's allowed Elusive to push in from behind. Daps' time on this earth is looking limited as Bravado managing to find the pist around here on Train. He will move up 6-10, and a chance to grind their way back into this one early on. Should be gifted a 7-5 lead off the bat as NRG look to take the eco here.
Get that third round buy up, get the AKs and everything. You don't need the AWP that early into this T side, knowing that Bravado shouldn't have it either. Bit of a B rush, bomb plant attempt. Only Fady here, so this should be a plant coming in from NRG. There's no Molotov to stop this. Fady going to cross because he's got his teammate close by, and they're going to run through the upper. So Fady spraying and praying. He connects one. Detroni drops another, but this bomber is still going to make it to the site. Oh, Serg! Only chance for NRG to get this plant, but instead he'd rather take the fight, and wow. That's why he buy head armor. What? I definitely think he could have committed to it there. There's no way you're going to get any more kills with that clock. So almost seemed like he thought he had got the plant, but getting off it just at the last second. 10-7 now. But no bomb plant, not the end of the world. You've still got the buy from NRG. You still have full AKs. And Bravado are yet to have an AWP.
Yeah, no AWP for either side as Bravado do just elect to keep the rifles out in this round. Obviously, Bravado desperately trying to claw us through to nuke. That will be map number 3 if they manage to get us there. NRG not looking keen on that idea, and they're going to be setting up a default early on.
What?
Ethan.
Through a smoke and a wall.
Yeah, why not?
Right.
Let's just put some more problems in Ethan's way.
Second smoke.
Just that more to shoot through. Where we see smoke, Ethan sees potential. JT gonna get finished off. It's Ethan, the smoke monster. He emerges and shuts down another man. Breezy wrapping in through Ivy looks to shut this whole round down, and indeed he will. Elusive and Sonic both drop. They were trying to save for Bravado. The idea of a save now becomes a fleeting one as only Detroni remains. Yeah, had they managed to save those 3 rifles, a buy would have been available in this coming round. They would have looked good. They can still salvage one together, but it's not going to have all the bells and whistles. We're going to have to see a couple of players take the hit in terms of the firepower. They don't even get away with that AUG on Detroni. So now it wouldn't surprise me if they do just have to take this maybe partial investment at most.
Yeah, you could even justify just full force here, really. It's a very awkward situation to be in for Bravado. As you could see, they were so committed to that save. It was a good call to make. They fully backed off the second those players got into the bomb site, but the long Ivy flank found so much success. 3 kills off the back of it. Full eco here for Bravado. They want to get a fire pace sap. Not really focused on winning these CZ rounds, and that's fair enough. Full setup back towards Ivy. I love this this kind of stack with these USPs because it's you know, there's no reason not to do it. You're gonna catch a player off guard if they commit to a fight. Cert cannot see what he's getting shot from, but I think he realizes now. Back Ivy. They'll have to reposition, but the thing is now they're not peeking together, and this is going to get very difficult to actually convert. And he kills Breezy, running out of ammo. But he will go back in for a second, eventually getting dropped, but it's the only casualty in that round from NRG. In fact, the only casualty in 2 rounds, so they have so much cash, and we're only 2 rounds into this half. 3, actually. 4. I got there in the
This will be the 5th.
Yes.
It's all good, Hugo. It has been a long day. You know, you've been here a little while. You've been awake for
24 hours.
Yep.
I came in the studio extra early.
Real early, just to make sure there were no power issues, and clearly didn't nail down your job 100%. We will be docking it from your wages. It's all good.
I'm a volunteer anyway. It's okay.
In that case, we'll be billing you in the post. Well, in this round, Sonic, that would have been a wonderful opener had he got it. Clay pigeon shooting down here on Ivy, but it doesn't lead to anything just yet for this Bravado side. Slowly but surely, Breezy is aggressing through this smoke. They can't get too complacent. They can't leave Ivy open because Breezy's already through, and JT hasn't seen him yet. Uh-oh, Breezy in the back line, and now things could turn problematic for Bravado. Breezy gonna get spotted, but he's still able to pick up 1. And now just his presence here causes so many problems. Elusive's had to try and take up position down in Old Hell. He finds himself in a very awkward spot. They try and take the fight, they lose it, and now Fady alone at this B bomb site, bested almost immediately. Sonic trying to do what he can from the connector, but Breezy, the gift that keeps on giving for NRG, 13-7 as they decimate the ranks of Bravado in that round.
That's such a big brain play for Breezy, and the reason why is after he gets the first kill, because he's killed the connector player, it looks like he's wrapped into CT spawn. As a result, the B players are preoccupied with thinking their backline's being pushed while it's actually their front line, and also the Ivy players think he's rotated CT, so they start rushing Ivy, and he gets 2 kills. Like, that's so intelligent from Breezy. Just being there, just his presence is scary enough for Bravado that it makes the round completely fall apart. 13-7, no money for Bravado. NRG, they are really ramping up this T side, Harry. 3 rounds away from a victory in 2 maps, and this might just be one of those 3. Although JT started things off, the issue is it's just pistols for Bravado, not a lot to play with. If they can get the second kill and grab the guns and T-Con, there's a chance, but Ethan wants to defend it. Does not want to give away these kills. Fady has pushed up on that flank, and he might be able to get behind these B players. Issue is they've already started to get onto the bomb site. Breezy gets his first kill of the round, and now Fady's going to come into play. No one's watching their backline. Oh no, he whiffs! He drops the bomb eventually, and Fugly goes down as well. Worth it for Fady. Looked dangerous for a second, but he gets it done. And now it's got to be these 2 A players to finish off the job.
Breezy's on 3 right now. He is just on it. Oh, Ethan, good night to JT as he makes that look almost too easy. And that does leave Fady up in this 1-on-2. What a tap. We've seen a few of those today. Fady on this wrap round. As you mentioned, he whiffed the initial volley. He was able to pull it back to this now, but they just wait for him on the ramp. That push comes through, and they read him like a book. 14-7, Hugo. You pointed it out, NRG just 2 rounds away from taking this series in a 2-0 fashion, locking that spot in the playoffs and sending the message that NRG this time, they're not to be underestimated.
50 kills between Ethan and Breezy, both on 25 each. 32 on the other 3 players from their team. Pretty crazy stuff, considering we're not even done with the game. Fast Ivy play from 2, NRG. Quick into these halls, and Sonic's here with the AWP, but no one going to be fighting him early on. They actually go just duck below the smoke. Oh, the head is there. Well, it was there until Sonic gripped it clean off. Daps is dead early on, but Cirque does get a bit of revenge down Ivy. NRG want to execute onto this A site, and JT's been forced out the pop dog by the Molotov. Now this Ivy is still contained with NRG players. Bravado aware.
Yeah, important thing to note there is they hear the molly clip the man that was playing pop dog, so they know that he's rotated out of that position. They hear him fall back. Cirque didn't spot anyone either, so they might read that he's repositioned into main. Elusive looking like he's going to try and catch the timing on this Ivy play. Fady holding off from the bomb site. Could be in a world of hurt, but Elusive pulls through. They do manage to mop up the players inside of this bomb site, and Fugly on a 10. Oh. Ethan finishes off the last man, and NRG map and series point as they salvage that round back from the clutches of defeat.
Yeah, huge round for Fugly as well. 10 kills so far, so not that many, but think about how much of a monster he was on that previous map. And I mean, there's not many kills left to find when two of your teammates have 50 combined. 15-7 for NRG, and it's looking like it's about to be done unless Bravado have anything left, any gas in the tank. This is still a respectable scoreline for Bravado. You do have to remember they are facing the top team in the tournament. But just one tier above, it seems, right now. NRG are just looking so good. Again, a play towards B. Ethan going to be met with Fady down the ramp. He's waiting for a timing peek here. Detroni's mollied off. Fady going to go for it, but there's two on the angle. And now Detroni does the same, but it's the same story. Both of them tagged, both of them held back. Fady tries to line up one. That's the bomb. Fady's running out of ammo, but he does have Detroni side by side. One kill apiece might not be enough, but this flank could.
We are looking at JT to try and make the difference as he slowly but surely rotates it through ramp. Cirque's going to check it and is able to win that fight. No. Breezy catches the timing onto Elusive, and now Sonic 1v2, the man that we always talk about from Bravado. Left with a lot on his shoulders, and he has to try and show us exactly why. There's the first kill, and almost onto Fugly through the smoke. The time ticking down and working against him. Taps on the bomb, forces the peek, and Sonic's going to land the shot. Oh, without a kit, there's no time, and, well, he knows it, we know it. NRG 16-7 as they pick up train that will be the victory for the North American squad. They take it in a convincing 2-0 fashion, and they lock in that playoff spot. They're not looking for a repeat of London. They're looking to send a message, and they've done exactly that here on the opening day of the Americas Minor.
Yeah, Poland is looking like their favorite country right now, it seems. One step closer and only 2 best-of-3s away from a guaranteed qualification to the major. Only 1 best-of-3 win away from, you know, even securing their 3rd place, which would, of course, mean they would play in that extra qualifier spot. But I don't think NRG are going to be fighting for 3rd place. I think they're going to be coming in top if they can keep this form up.
Yeah, most definitely. What we could do is now we can bring up these brackets, take a look at how the rest of the games have transpired. For those of you who are just joining us, all the games over here on the B stream are done. Let's recap the day, though, Hugo. This is Group A. NRG kickstarted the day with a convincing 1-0 start over Imperial Esports on Nuke. We got to witness that one firsthand. Bravado Gaming winning out over INTZ.
And just to clarify, it's not rigged. Bravado haven't immediately won their game versus Imperial. They still have to play. Oh no! Yeah,
Bravado shouldn't be there. That should be INTZ. Yeah, so no, in a way, it is rigged because Bravado are there. That is where they're meant to be. They drop down from the upper bracket. They have to play versus the winner of Imperial and INTZ. That transpires tomorrow with NRG already locking in that playoff spot. We'll be seeing which team joins in and works alongside that North American squad. Taking a look now at Group B as we bring this one up on to our screen. Somewhat throwing production under the bus because they didn't say it was ready, but here we go. They're very, very quick on their feet today. Like to keep everyone tested, Hugo. Team Envy going to be taking that first win of the day. And obviously, we already saw Furia and E United go the way of Furia Esports just a little bit earlier on.
And right now, Envy are 11-9 up against Furia, about to make it 12-9 in a 4-on-1 against an Eco. So it's looking good for Envy to be leading in the first map. I don't want to jinx anything, but that is, of course, Furia's map pick with Mirage coming up next and Train as a finisher. So we are done here, but do head over to the mainstream right now. Head over to twitch.tv/ESL_CSGO and check out Envy versus Furia. You get to see new Carrigan on Envy. You get to see drone fragging. You get to see Nifty going off. And of course, you get to see some Brazilian boys in the mix as well. Definitely not a game you want to miss out.
No, not at all. I think you've said all there is to say about that one. You've got me hyped for it, certainly, Hugo. And that's still in the first map, so there is potentially a lot more Counter-Strike to be played tonight. You're not done watching it just yet. I know that, whenever I get in, I just love watching CS for hours on end. So I'm feeling happy knowing that when we're done here, we still have a fantastic series to go ahead and watch.
Well, let's run into the other room and get the TVs on. You guys should too. But I think for now, we're done and dusted with the B stream for today. We'll be back tomorrow nice and early on with 8 more best of 3s. Lots of Counter-Strike across both the Asian and the Americas region. Do not miss out, and we'll see you then.